Cheers, everybody. Welcome back to. First of all, last week I did a video. I put a poll up last week about beer review legends. And first of all, I'd like to thank everybody who watched it. Really appreciate it. Um, and the opinions that people had about it. It was interesting, and it was informative as well. So I thought to myself, maybe on a weekly basis, maybe put up a poll about certain aspects of beer reviewing and see what you get. See what the result is. So this week, I put up a poll, and I'll read you what it says. The poll I put up. It says, "Cheers, everyone. Time for yeah, I do need these glasses. They're not props. Cheers, everyone. Time for a little research for another video. This video, and this time rating beers in reviews. My question is, do you take any notice of the score a reviewer gives in a review? Yes, says 38%. No, says 62%. So it's a little bit closer to the result of last week's poll. So last week I thought, well, that's more on the subject of beer legends and stuff, or review legends. It was very decisive. But I thought to myself today, once you're getting closer, once it's not such a clear cut result, I thought I'll read a few comments that people have put down regarding this, because I think it's important that I do and don't come across as bias, and let everybody have their say. So first of all, I'll tell you why my own personal opinion of rating beers on YouTube. The beer I'm drinking at the moment, there you go, just reviewed. It'll be up next week. Is that Big Baby there? Yeah, just thought I'd let you know what I'm drinking. Just have a little sip. Anyway, scoring beers in beer reviews. What do I think? For me, I think it's important that when you review beer on YouTube, you try to develop your own style. And sometimes when you develop a style of beer reviewing, it's all really down to the way you finish your review, if you know what I mean. For me, yeah, I have a laugh, I have a joke, and you know, that's just me, and that's my influence from the great Terry Kay. They'll always be there, and for me, it's a case of, would I buy it again? Uh, is it shit or is it good? And that's how I review a beer. Would I buy it again? Yes or no? Or maybe. That's me. That's just me. Some people, they give it a mark out of 10. Um, I think one channel gives it a mark out of 100. And I always think that if you do that, you really are committing yourself to giving that beer a mark, a distinctive mark. And if I was a brewer and I watched a review and somebody gave it a distinctive mark like that, would I be offended? I don't know. You could be. Then I think to myself, well, it's free speech. Everybody, you know, have got their own way of doing things, so you can't really say it's a wrong thing to do. All I wanted to do out of this poll was to actually find out is that people who watch you or watch other beer reviews actually take any notice of your review, or not your review, your score of what you rate a beer. So I've got some kind of like comments up, and I'm gonna read through them and see what I think. Um, what I think about some of the comments. the first one was come up. It's from Rate My Beer. Paul, he says scorecards make it much more fun, gives excellent talking points, but you can tell either way with beer. Reviewing beers is subjective. Exactly. Surely it's just a bit. It is a bit of fun. But it's all down to the person and the frame of mind of the person watching you. Sometimes they'll perceive it as fun. Sometimes they'll perceive it as take it seriously in a way. It's very kind of like middle ground, isn't it? Scorecard, yeah, scorecards, you can use them in Strictly Come Dancing. So yeah, Chris's beer reviews says I do not score. I think opinion is better. Yeah, I suppose that's the way I go as well. It's all down to the individual. It's the element of free will. Someone to use their free will to yeah. You can watch me. You can basically take everything what I say, or you can think to yourself, well, no, I'm going to make my own mind up. You know, this is a great brewery. This is a great, you know, with great traditions. He says the beer's shit. I'm going to give it, going to give it, um, a chance. And for me personally, that is what I want people to do. If I had a Theakston beer or something like that, and I didn't like it, or I thought it was crap, or whatever. I shouldn't say Theakston, but a traditional or old school brewery or whatever. I want people to actually go out and buy them and create a debate about what they've just drank. It's important that people do that. It's all the beer no idea. Baz says I think the words amazing, good, average, poor, and other shite. Yeah, I know where you're coming from with that. Buzz says always do, Mara. Lee says ultimately no, though I don't mind those that do score. If you just said at the end of the review, I'll buy this again, that's all people need to know. And that's what I tend to do. I tend to say to myself, would I buy this again? Or say to you, would I buy this beer again? Maybe not. Would I buy this one again? I say yes, it's cracking. The craft beer basic has commented. The number one beer reviewer. Cheers, craft beer basic. Hope your crown's on your head. He said, never one man's trash is another man's treasure. Lest we forget Hitchcock's song was yeah, I totally get what you're getting there. He says, lest we forget Hitchcock's Psycho was trashed by critics on release. Yeah. So what else was trashed on by critics on release? I can't think at the moment. I know what he's getting from. Peter Law says prefer opinion as one's 3 out of 5 is someone's 7 out of 10. Depends where you set the bar. An opinion is individual, so a beer you might describe, but not like might be something I fancy trying. Or Valiant has said it can help to score beer, but people's tastes and beer types they like vary a lot. So for me, it's not vital. It's a description in the video of the aroma and taste that matters to me. Maybe a would I buy it again type view based on price and the overall experience. And Chad's Beer Reviews it says we can evaluate and judge beer on a point-based rubric. That's what the BJCP and Cicerone organisations are based on. Every beer tour will be both and a better judge and content creator by getting certified. You will never know how ignorant you were until you get certified. It's basically, well, the way I see it is that, it's all down to personal taste. It's all down, we're not professionals. We're not professional kind of like beer reviewers. If you want to call beer reviewers for me, are not professionals. We're not. We're just blokes who like beer with fading hairlines who like to talk about, just like to talk about beer. We're not experts because at the end of the day, we've got plenty of breweries out there producing stuff which, for me personally, I don't really like. But another man's Marmite is another man's, I don't know, Another man's Marmite is another man's, I don't know. Another man's Marmite is another man's strawberry trifle. I don't know. I had to finish that off, didn't I? So getting back to it, what do I really think? I don't know why I got this out because I'm drinking it. I'm going again. What do I think of putting numbers on beers? Each to their own. That's what I say. If it suits your style, suits your reviewing style, you do it. If you've got the confidence to put a number to a beer, you do it. If you want to create a debate or ask questions to the person watching you, you don't do it. And I think that is the bottom line of it. It's all down to the individual style of the reviewer and how they put themselves across. There's no right or wrong in this. So overall, it was an interesting poll I put up. It wasn't as clear cut, and I'll have to think of another poll to put up next Friday for the next week's video. I'm really enjoying it and really enjoying the interaction in these polls. It gives me a fair indication of what people think who watch me, who and what people think who watch beer reviews overall. So for me, yeah, it's always interesting to do this type of stuff. And I think I'll have to think of another question to ask you lot out there next week and put another poll up. So cheers everybody for putting their comments on and voting in the poll. We know now that it's really not such clear cut. You can, rate something or not rate something. In it, at the end of the day, to rate a beer or not to rate a beer. Cheers, everybody. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers.